Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop. It is Sunday, January 11th, 2026, 1/11. Big number day. A time of new beginnings, openings, restarts, refresh. Excellent. For those of you who are new to this podcast, please be sure to check out my website at lisahop.com. I'm also on Instagram under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop. I'm on Facebook under the business page Lisa M. Hop, Spiritual Coach in Medium. I might change that soon, that title. I'm also on TikTok under Lisa M. Hop, all lowercase. I have been giving my listeners the wrong TikTok, the old TikTok ID. I did try to change it, and apparently I was able to change it to what it is currently. And so please see me there as well, because new content will be added. I have things in the works, and they will be publicized very soon. For those of you who listen every week and give me such wonderful feedback, I'm always amazed, surprised, grateful, humbled by who tells me they listen. So thank you. It just always strikes me, and in the best way. So again, I hope that you will keep listening. If you have anyone has any thought, suggestion for topics, please feel free to suggest them to me. I always say if I don't know about the topic, I will learn about the topic, which brings me great joy because I love learning. I love learning something new every day. So I'm a little bit delayed on getting on the podcast today because, in all honesty, I didn't know what to talk about today. And I don't want to say I got nothing. But also, I know I've heard from at least one of the listeners that I have that sometimes I can talk about the same topic more than once, maybe over and over again. It wasn't a complaint, I don't think, by the way, but truth, yes, because it's very meaningful what we're going through right now. And what I mean, I'm not saying what I say over and over again is so meaningful. What I mean is that it's important sometimes to get that reinforcement, to get that reminder, to have it said a different way. Because sometimes when I hear something, the same thing a different way, maybe it's from a different speaker, I get the aha moment. It clicks in. And though, sometimes people search for the click in for a long time, but I still think it's valuable to reinforce, to know. It makes me feel good. It's if you want to know, I've said this before, but I'll repeat. I'm not really one to do. I can watch some family TV and such, but I love learning. No matter what, it could be history. It's usually in some way about energy, about evolving myself, removing my own blocks that are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, thankfully. And so I am all about watching educational videos, listening, reading books, journaling. So that's how I kind of spend my time off. And it's a good thing. It brings me peace and joy. It makes me it's like a high. It's like a natural, wonderful high because it's even through its honesty, it's positive. Because, sometimes our teachers can be tough. And so it's very positive for me and I also like to follow and watch people who inspire me, who I am friends with, who, I do that as well. It's like, what are they up to? Oh, that's awesome. I connect myself to a lot of creators, people who write, people who sing, people who coach, people who are just inspiring. And so that is how, if you want to know what I'm doing during my rest time, that's exactly what I'm doing. And I'll be doing it later on today. And I do every day. I encourage all of you to, when I say journal more. It can be writing, it can be typing, it can be however you want it to be. I mean, it's getting it out of you. It's proclaiming. It's claiming who you truly are, and seeing where you are in a loving, honest way. Where am I at right now? And where do I know I'm going? Now, I hesitated there, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I am connected to wonderful teachers. Again, people who inspire me, who probably about 3 or 4 times in this 6 minutes I've spoken to you would correct how I'm talking. In all honesty, I caught myself doing it myself to someone last night. No, don't phrase it like that. You're manifesting it. You don't want to do that. Because we think we're being honest when we say things. But what we're doing is saying, I have this. This is my reality. So we always have to make sure about how we speak and how we feel. The state we're in is what we really want, because the universe nowadays is responding to us more powerfully and quicker. My 3D mind cannot say it's faster than ever, but it feels like it's larger and more powerful and faster than ever. I said something, and there's a key to this. Last night I was observing something, and I just offhandedly, very casually said, why don't you let that happen? And then it happened. I mean, it was an actual event. It wasn't like a movie or anything made up. And it didn't happen. I went, whoa. But if I had been, come on, that's got to happen. Come on. I would be resisting. I would be pushing. It would be a block. But I very casually said, why don't you just let that happen? And then it happened. Now, do I have that kind of power? Absolutely. Do you have that kind of power? Absolutely. But you can't do it when you are stressing and forcing and doing anything of a, heavierness. It's really it's kind of like that same energy of let it. Coming to that place of detachment almost from it, but not detached in a way that you're, it's light. It's very light. So we, again, have that kind of power. So what's the topic today, good people? And I want to just say this too. I type this every time I load this podcast, but please know that whatever I say on this podcast, it is not a replacement for treatment from a licensed mental health or medical professional. It is spiritual. It's meant to help. It does come from a place of what I know to be truth. And I will say my personal truth, but also, what I have investigated, explored to be truth. But it's not ever meant to replace something. It's not ever meant for you to think that you have to do something on your own. You're not in this world alone, even though we can feel that way at times. Depending on what's happening with ourselves, you're never alone. You have heavenly helpers. And even if it feels like you're abandoned, the strangers, the helpers can always appear. The friends that come out of nowhere can always appear. So do know that you are supported. And I'd like you to proclaim that for yourself. I am supported. I am whole. I am at peace. I am It was given to us. It is our number one spoken tool, feel right tool. Love is where we ultimately want to be. That unconditional, give it no matter what kind of love. And I mean energetically. But if you want to know how to profess in the most powerful way, it was given to us. It was given to us at the top of the mountain through the burning bush. I am. It is the code. It is the God code to connect into how to manifest your highest life. What do you manifest with I am? Do you say I am heavy? Do you say I am sick? Do you say I am in pain? Do you say that I am in a place where nothing's working out for me? It doesn't have to always be I am. Whatever is proclaimed is what is brought back to you. And it's not human. And what I mean by that is that we tend, and this is really the topic today, really a bit. I haven't given you the topic, have I? We're just kind of going to go with it. It's like a spiritual rant day. But we're often think and feel that there is this being that is separate from us. Perhaps you see this being as an old man with a long gray beard on a throne, and Jesus is to the right hand of this Father, as I was taught. Blessed Mother Mary is up there. There's perhaps angels that are messengers. And, it's a belief system. Some believe differently. And then there are others that want to believe in a mother God. It's choice to believe it, and just saying about beliefs. Not, this, I have no thought about right, wrong, because God is not human. Matrix, energy, source, whatever you want to call that, energy is not human. It is impenetrable, and it cannot be swerved by what we do. It is located in us, all around us, not just in special locations. It is just not of heaven. It is of earth. It is connected to our heart, the very organ of our body. It is connected to our mind. It is, again, impenetrable and penetrates us. There's so much. It's programmed in us, and it's been programmed in me. And it's a staunch programming. It's deep. It's core. Where we believe that prayers may be answered or not answered. That we may get favor or not favor. That we may make this being angry with us. That we may not go to heaven. That we could go to hell. We've been taught some things. I may have mentioned it last week on the podcast. There's a priest who likes to be on YouTube, or has found himself on YouTube, and there was a clip that came of him because the algorithms for me, it's always going to be spiritual and priests and all that. So he popped up and he was screaming. He was screaming at the top of his lungs in his garb at a pulpit about people thinking that they were that they were sure to get to heaven. And they may not go to hell. And he was screaming at them. He was screaming at his congregation. To basically put into them, you don't have you don't have a big, positive, clear shot to get to heaven. A lot of people aren't going. That type of dialogue. He was angry. And I remember thinking, why is he so angry? What is there to be so angry about? Now it's about his feelings. What is he afraid of? He's afraid. And that is between him and his inner self and the energy that he connects to, the God source, his angels, his departed loved ones in heaven. Why so angry? He's missing out on the joy of life. There are others like this. Are you like this? That you miss out sometimes on that joy, that blessing, the gratitude, feeling it. Do you feel that you're not enough? Do you feel you're not enough, and so you wonder, will my prayer be answered? Will my request be given? If I were enough, why would those people I love so much abandon me? Listeners, I've been abandoned too. It's hard. Because I remember a time when I didn't understand. And I remember being a child and not understanding. I wasn't wise enough to understand that sometimes children just change their mind and go away for a little bit. That I remember one time, I'm actually Facebook friends with one now, very casually. We don't talk. We've never talked about this. But I remember two female friends just disappearing. And then when they came back one day, they invited me to a carnival. And they said, we don't know why we left. They were being so honest. They don't know. They just did. But for me, or perhaps you, who are sensitive, who wanted to know that they were liked, maybe we want to also know we're loved. When you don't understand, it's more hurtful, isn't it? Maybe for you, it's not friends. Maybe it's family members. Maybe it's children. Maybe it's siblings. Maybe it's, maybe it's a coworker that turns against you. Whatever it may be, it's hurtful, isn't it, at times? It can be. We can learn tough, but what I've come to understand is, and I want to share this with you, because it ties back into God's source. Where's God? Where are my angels? I've been there. I've been down on the floor, on my knees. Why have you left me? And have we not read in Scripture that Jesus went through the same moment on the cross? That feeling of being abandoned, isolation, the greatest loneliness, and not understanding, why am I not loved enough to feel your presence here, to feel the help, to know that I'm all right? We sometimes need that self-assurance. So here's what I've learned. I have learned that it is always there, that we sometimes have to go through life. And it is harsh. And it is hard. But our greatest qualities, character, preparation, endurance, resilience, is sometimes grown through those moments. And they're watching. And they're loving. As we go through our inner struggles. Now, they're not enjoying in the way a human who is not kind would. That's not what I'm saying. But they know what we're capable of. They know how strong we are. They know how courageous we are. They know that we're survivors. And they know that if we can get through this tunnel, we're going to come out of things better than it was. Now, when it comes to people who will be people, like the two young people who abandoned me and decided to come back because they had a change of mind. People do that. And sometimes they don't mean it. And sometimes they do. But here's the thing to understand. Sometimes we get out of alignment with those that are in our lives. And sometimes that lack of alignment is with those who are family too. We're not on the same frequency. And when you're not on the same frequency, you don't see each other. You don't talk to each other. You just don't know how to connect and communicate with each other. And you sometimes don't even know why. So what I'm saying to you is, if you feel harmed by someone you love, especially a family member, they may not even understand what they're doing. And if it's intentional, they may be coming from a place of pain. It is always important to give others grace, not say, it's okay, you can do what you want, you can get away with it, I'll settle, I'll put up with it. I'm not saying that. You should always take care of yourself and love yourself. Know who you are. But if you know that you didn't do anything for them to leave you to them, there's something larger going on. It is often said, God hears conversations you didn't hear. The universe hears conversations you didn't hear. I know people have not heard conversations that the universe has heard. And I let it take care of itself. Know that. But always write it. What goes out must come back in some way. Be replaced with better. And it can be, again, the word harsh. I went through this, where I felt very abandoned and alone. And then, all of a sudden, it was so subtle, arrivals, changes, for the up-leveling. And it was so subtle. I don't say I almost missed it, but I looked back and went, whoa, that occurred. What I sometimes will say to myself is, about those who have left, and in all honesty, well, no, I've left after they've left. So I can leave too. But what I've sometimes say to myself is they're not my people. If someone is not doesn't have the best intentions, they're not my people. Or maybe they have the best intentions, but they're not acting out on their best intentions. People mess up. I mess up. We're in this human body. Well, we are built for screw-ups, right? There is not one perfect human on this earth. Not one. And so it's very important to see, why are they not around now? Why do I feel I don't want to be around them? Because right now you're not in alignment. Now, can you at some point come back into alignment again? It's sure, always. It's possible. I feel such great joy over people that have been in my past that I wasn't even friends with. That they were just, part of the class or, part of the, another group. And now they're so amazing. And I am so grateful I'm not missing out on them. Sometimes things come later in life. I'm grateful for people I meet through other people. I'm grateful when I get to introduce people to people. I think that they might like each other. Let's see. It's great. What I have started to do in my life is not take things so personally. Things come and go. People come and go. But the support around you does not come and go, even if it's amazingly quiet. So what I would like to suggest to you today is to understand, if you will, that God source, matrix, large, up at the top of consciousness energy, is not separate from you at any time. Because to be separate from you would be for you to be separate from love. And we are not separate from love. We just separate ourselves from love. You are part of oneness, of consciousness. You are a part of that source. If you want, you can see yourself as a child to that source, but still part of the family. I am part of God's family. And I may be prodigal at times, but the door is always open to me. And I would like you, if you will, when you pray, pray with the trust that you are part of this energy. Ask the energy to show itself to you. Ask for the signs. Ask for the confirmation. Trust that you have it. Know that you're good enough, worthy enough. We're told, oh my goodness, I think the screaming priest was doing it. Oh, sinners, 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 sinners. You know what a sinner is? A person who separates themselves from love. That's all. You, on this feast day of Jesus being baptized, the only thing you have to be cleansed of is the thought that you are somehow dirty, unworthy, not good enough, awful, liar. Oh my gosh, I've heard such things said about humans from the religious, and I'm not against the religious. I've met holy religious that, miracle workers, because they're so pure with their holiness, so of love. But there's a lot of power in a collar sometimes. And it spins over and over and over again, where you start to wonder if it's real. It must be truth. If you hear a lie over and over again, you start to believe it's true, right? Well, I don't, but that's a common thing. I am telling you today to trust. That even if you don't have evidence that you are loved, to trust that you are loved and to live from there. To live from that feeling, that vibration, that momentum, and to make choices accordingly from that place. You are part of a team. And this team, as I said, is unconditional. It doesn't love anyone more than another. It doesn't favor anyone more than another. It just responds to us. If you say, I want to have a bad day, it says okay. If you say, I'm going to have the best day ever, it says okay. If you say, I want to live in poverty consciousness, it says okay. If you say, I want to hate my neighbor, it says okay. Now, you get the vibration back from that. What you put out, you get back. Because it's always saying okay. That is why it's always best to come from a place of love, to come from a place, and not, when I say love, I mean, I don't mean the hallmark, warm and fuzzy, oh, I love you, love. I mean to see all your other people on earth as humans, as valuable, as with dignity, with a flat, certain feeling of looking at them, knowing they have worth. It's not a gushy, it's a solid, very measured feeling. It's Jesus did it. He just loved. It didn't matter what they did, what they said, what they did to him. He just loved them because they were creation. Loved someone because they're created, they're creation, they exist. Not because they make you happy or don't make you happy, or they're nice or they're not nice. Yes, of course it's easier to love people who are kinder and sweet. But that's not where we're going to in this world. We're going to that God energy and growing that within us, where we love just to love. We love no matter what. Dignity, grace, respect. That's where we're going. That's important to know. And when you pray, with all humility and gratitude, say thank you. It is done. Your request is always granted. Always. It is us who stop it. Because we get in our twirl of thoughts. I want this to be different. And then we get into how it's never going to be different. And how much we can't stand them. And they owe us an apology. And all this spin. Let it go. Let everyone be who they are. Let them be different. Let yourself not understand. Let them be who they are. You find the peace within. You find who you are. And it will go outward and make such a huge difference, not only in your life, but in the life of the world. It is hard. This is a time where it's easy to be angered. It's easy to look at someone and say they're a bad person. Believe me, I understand. I do. No matter what, whether it's, intimately with you or broadcast out there, whatever it is. And everybody has their own perceptions, don't they? Some will see a villain, others will not see a villain. Maybe they see a hero. It's all about perceptions. There are no good guys or bad guys. It's only humanity. Let what's happening around you teach you how to acquire love and peace and grace and understanding. Trust that you are loved, I say again. Insist that things be different. You always have a choice about how you feel, about how you act. You're in full power. That is what free will is. It is power of choice. And the consequences are always yours. What you choose responds to you. And that's wonderful. That's powerful. What do you choose? How do you choose to feel? What do you choose for your success? What do you choose for your life? Living life. What would you choose? What do you choose? It's time to claim it. Claim it. And it's best to go towards the emotional state. Peace, wholeness, calm. Whatever you would choose, want to choose, it's time to choose it now. So forgive me for starting off a little bit all over the place. But truly the topic of this podcast is that you are not separate but one. I'm actually going to write that down. Because I have to headline this somehow. I appreciate you all so very much. And if you are listening to this on YouTube and you connected with this today, and if you're a first timer, I can be more eloquent. Please like, subscribe, and share on any platform you're listening. Thank you, thank you. Please be sure, as I said, to check out the website. Follow. Give it suggestions. I would appreciate it so very much. Faith is growing. And I have more to say in the way of faith coming up. Please join me for this journey. Together, we are meant to give this world a better life. Together and forever. Thank you again. Many blessings.